Robinson, Stamping Simply with Maria. Thanks so much for joining me again today. So for the whole month of July and August, I decided I'm going to do some quick and easy card sharing. And because, if you're like me, during the summer, you want to be outside, having fun in the sun, playing in the pool, playing with your kids, your grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever, your animals. I know I do, and I don't want to be tied to my stamp room all the time, unless it's raining, which it's doing right now, thundering actually. And so that's why I'm doing this today, because I can't be outside. But I love being outside. I love the sunshine. It just warms me. It makes me feel so much better. So I'm sure it does the same for you. So that's why I started this series. So 2 months, July and August, we're going to be doing quick and easy cards every Tuesday. Of course, I'm going to sprinkle in my fun folds, which are once a month. So we have one more coming up in August, but we're not going to count that one. Anyway, these are easy, and you'll be able to make 2 cards out of the one piece of cardstock. Well, it's a base, and then you just add a few things, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So let me turn the camera down so we can get started. Before I begin, just want to let you know there are a few more days that you can earn to redeem. What does that mean? Well, Stampin' Up! For the whole month of July had what's called bonus days. So during the month of July, when you placed an order of $50 or more before shipping and tax, you would earn a $5 coupon that you could redeem in August. How cool is that? I hope you've been taking advantage of it. I'm sure you have. I know I did. So, and don't forget, and then I'll come back in August and let you know how to redeem those coupons. I've also got my host code here. If you are shopping with me, my host code is R2Z3XD7Q, and just go to my website, www.mariarobinson.stampinup.net, and then place your order right from there. If you ever need help placing your order, certainly you can reach me. My email contact information is below the video, and you can also reach me through my website as well. All right, so the card, actually, let me leave this host code here in case you want to see it later on while we're doing the video. I don't think it'll get in the way. If it does, then I'll move it. So the cards I'm sharing feature the Cheerful Daisies bundle. I'm using mostly the stamp set. However, I am using one of the dies, which I have it set up on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, my mini. It's already on there. But you don't have to use a die is what I'm saying. You can actually just do this with a straight cut. So very easy. And I am using the Daisies and then Wishing You the Brightest Birthday. So as I said, this you can purchase it as a bundle. And I'm also using the designer series paper. So I already have a sheet cut out. I do have my pieces that I need all cut out already for me. So as I mentioned, I'm using one card base, one card piece of cardstock. It measures 8.5 by 11.5. What I did is I've already scored it down the middle, then we're just gonna cut it in half at 5.5 inches. And you'll be able to get 2 cards from this one piece. So let me just go back to the cards here. So very basic, very simple. I've got a designer series paper in the background, layered it with some cardstock, and then I stamped my image, and I added my label with my sentiment on it, and I added a couple of embellishments. You don't need the embellishments. I actually had it without the embellishments, and to be honest with you, I thought it looked fine. So we may not even be adding them. And here's another one with a different coloring. All right, so we have this piece here. I'm going to cut this out. So let's put these pieces here. So anyway, I don't have this cut out yet, but I have this one here. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5. Then I have my 3 by 4 3/8 inch piece, which we're going to cut from the copper clay. I have a piece of basic white, which is 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. and my designer series paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So the reason I did this is because I tend to forget what my measurements are, and then I'm measuring and doing this, so I thought maybe if I put my Post-its on here, I'll know what they are. All right, so let's put those aside. Let me cut this down. We're gonna cut this piece down to 5.5 inches, and I already scored it. So this is half a sheet of cardstock, and it makes it easy before you cut it to score it first, so then you're already scored for your second piece. So that's done. We're gonna fold this in half and get my bone folder. And I like to use, if you're using the Stampin' Up trimmer, probably can't see that, can you? Let me zoom out just a little bit for you. Okay, there we go. So the Stampin' Up trimmer has this edge here, and I like to fold my cardstock up to that edge and then burnish it with my bone folder so I know that both top and bottom are even. And we're going to do the same thing with the other piece. So it's really pouring here right now. I'm a little concerned that I'm taping this. I may have to stop in between, but we'll see how it goes. The thundering stopped, so that's good. All right, then we're going to take the copper clay piece and we're going to cut this down to 3 by 4 3/8. So we'll measure this here at 4 3/8, and I'm going to cut this down. And we'll cut 2 pieces, so I'm ready for the second card. Oops. Better look at my measurements before cutting. I almost cut that at 4 7/8. And then we have a little scrap here. Okay, then we're gonna cut these. And to save time and whatnot, I like to put them together and just cut them at one time. Just like so. Little scrap pieces, which I'll save. You never know, I might need those. All right, my other pieces are already cut. And then I need another piece of designer series paper. So the piece of designer series paper I need is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down to 4 inches. Right about there. Okay, and then both pieces are 4 inches. I'll put these in here, flip them around, and then we'll cut this down to 5 1/4 inches. Again, I put them together just to do one cut. And I have 2 other pieces that I could use at another time. Although I guess I just needed one because I had one cut, but I'll use that another time also. All right, so let me put this aside, move my bone folder out of the way. And so let me show you, so this is just a piece of scrap paper that I have, and the die that I'm using, let me zoom back in because I had zoomed out. The die that I'm using is for the, what am I trying to say? The label, the sentiment. So I'm just going to cut it out of this strip, but I'm going to show you a paper saving trick that you could also use, which I did for my sample cards, but I had this piece, so I said, oh, let me do it from here. And it fits perfectly on this piece. So this piece was just like 1 inch by 8.5 inches. And I just had it down with a piece of washi tape. So that's done. But let me show you what I did earlier. Just want to cut this off. So on the other samples that I had, I said, oh, let me cut it out from here because nobody's going to see this. It's going to be covered up with our white card base, the layer. that we're gonna stamp on. So to save paper, why not just cut it out from here, right? And then, you know, you can save them for another time. And I noticed that you can do, you know, line it up so that you have enough down so that you're, you have the border. You don't want to go too far up and too far off to the side. So we're just going to do one here. But I just wanted to show you that little space save, paper saver. That's what I'm trying to say, not space saving. You want to save paper. Right, so let's go here. There. And we've got that piece here. And this will go there. We'll put our die in here. All right, let's start with some stamping. So I have 2 pieces of basic white, 2 7/8 by, see, I shouldn't have thrown the 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. I threw out my Post-it notes already, so now I forgot. That's why I put them on here. All right, so let's do the, now what I liked to do is I wanted to start with, and I don't know why I did this, but it just seemed to work better for me, to do my stem first. I know that kind of sounds backwards, but I figured this way at least I knew where I wanted my flower positioned. And I just found it easier that way. So we're going to use Old Olive. So we'll open this up and stamp 2 of our stems. Oh, geez. Just drop that. That ever happened to you? Okay, so let's see. We're going to stamp this probably right about here. Then I'm going to stamp another one off to the side. But let me get a piece of scrap paper, which I don't have. So, you know what? I'm just going to use the back of this, because I want the stem to come kind of off to the side here, but I don't want to, make sure I'm using the back side. Okay. I want it to be a shorter stem is what I'm trying to say. I think it became a longer stem. So now you have 2 little stems there. Let's close this up so I don't stick my hand in it. Next, we're going to use our large daisy, and I like to start with the detailed one first, and it makes it easier to stamp the solid one. So I am using Cajun Craze. I felt that I could have used the copper clay, and I do have it here, but I just felt that this was very similar to the copper clay that's in the designer series paper. Right. I should have, no, let's flip this over. I don't like the way that looks. I love that there's 2 sides to paper. I didn't like the way that looked. I felt it was too high and too, it wouldn't give me room for the smaller daisy. So let's see, what did I do with, oh, it's right here. So we're going to stamp this about here. Okay, then we'll take that piece of scrap again. Get up again we're going to stamp this one off to the side, about here. Okay, I think that'll be better. All right, let's close this up. Ink my stamp again in Cajun Craze, and then we'll put this right about here, I think. Okay, and then we'll do our small one again, the detailed. We'll stamp this. Now this is going to go onto the other piece. If that bothers you, it's not bothering me. So if that bothers you to do that, that you're over the stem and over the other one, you can always die cut a piece and use it as a mask. Just cleaning my stamps here. I feel that, especially with these red colors, they tend to stain the stamps. So let's put these here so I know I've used those. All right, and I'm going to use the same color. I'm going to use Cajun Craze again, but I'm stamping off. And this is the solid image. So I'm going to stamp off so you get a lighter image. And then we'll line this up. And it makes it nice with the photopolymer stamps because you can line it up fairly perfectly. Yeah, not too bad. All right, and then we'll get the other one here. Again, stamp off. And then stamp on. Perfect. I'm done with Cajun Craze. And then we'll use crushed curry for the center part of the daisies. Got one here. And then we have the little one. This goes like this. Beautiful. Okay, we'll put this away, and then we'll put a couple of leaves on the bottom. I'll put one over here. I'll put another one over here. There you go. And let's see, what am I going to use? I think I'm going to use the copper clay to stamp my sentiment. And then we'll be almost ready to put this card together. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Line that up. A grid paper, and hopefully we get it straight. Good. Awesome. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Let's put this card together. Have my card base. I need my designer series paper. So let's add that first. Glue. And you could use either side of the designer series paper. I mean, both sides are beautiful. You can also do this. Oops, better use this side. That looks nice as well. I kind of like the blue. Make sure these daisies are going the right way. I'm really enjoying using this paper, fresh as a daisy. I hope you've picked some up. It's beautiful. I did pick up another pack when it was on sale recently in June. I'm glad I did because I've been using it a lot and I plan to use it for one of my classes coming up. And yes, this goes here. Let me put this down first. I'm just going to center this. Then we'll layer this piece on top. So if you don't have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and you don't have the dies that I used for this sentiment, you can simply just cut a piece of cardstock and use this instead of using the die. All right, I'm done with the glue. I'll get some dimensionals. Put them on the back. I think 3 should be good. 1 here, and the next one over here. Peel off the backings. And we will put this up here. I think that I like it up here because there's a lot of white space up there. I'm going to just line this up with the Designer Series paper on the right hand side and the layer of copper clay. So pretty, right? Let me just see what I do have my loose daisy embellishments. Let's see if I like the way these look on here. I think I might just leave it plain. Oh, they look kind of cute. Let's see what the white ones look like. I think the white ones kind of get lost. Maybe I'll put a couple of the yellow ones. 2 and 3. Oops, I got 4. Put one away. They get stuck to my fingers because I have a little bit of glue on them. All right, where is my Take Your Pick tool? Let's get that out. Nope, not that one. This is the piece I'm looking for. Makes it easier to lift. I take your pick tool and then I'm going to just place the glue dot down in the places where I want the embellishments. Say one down here. Actually, let's go down here. There's a lot of white space down here as well. And another one up on top. Right about here, I think. Okay, I'm going to just poke these off. So, like so. Get them out of the way. Close this so I don't poke myself with it because that would hurt. And then get the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool and I'll put the small one up here. I'll put one of the bigger ones over here. And the last one, oops, I guess I had an extra one there, down here. And there you have it. Very quick and simple. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me turn the camera back around for you. I decided not to make the second one because it went a little over more than I wanted to go over. So try it for yourself. I hope you've been enjoying my the series, the quick and easy cards that I've been sharing. Let me know by sharing it with your friends and also giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching my videos. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. Please consider doing so. Until next Tuesday, have a great day and happy stamping. Bye.